Hello, BAME Farm fans. We are feeding chickens right now. Right after this had a bunch more rain. Which, right now, any rain is a bunch more rain. But that's beside the point. How are you doing this morning? Well, not everybody's too friendly. Let's see how everybody's done with laying eggs. Oh, there's eggs to collect. That is fantastic. So this is the coop we built last spring, and I have made, a little slippery there. I've made a video showcasing its features like the nesting boxes, the perches, the watering setup. And I'm trying to increase the number of hens. And I think I might have discussed at one point how they were having rear end eating issues of each other. We have since mechanically cured that with the curtains over the nesting boxes, but they still know the behavior. So it's like, it's like taking guns away from a mass murderer. I mean, they still have that killing idea in their mind, and only taking the guns away will only do so much. So they've actually slowed down. They haven't killed one another in a couple months now. But I don't trust them not to teach it to new hens. Oh, hey, what is that thing? So this is what the video is really about, this whole story over here. Since the hens were having trouble, keep staying alive, I've started a new batch way back in January. And some of them are living in here. And there's also another thing on wheels I need to show off. But yeah, some of the chickens have been living in here. Now this morning will be the first morning that they get to exit the trailer. I gotta feed them. Now I've left them in here a few days. They pretty well have enough space. A little solidly packed, but the trailer has lots of airflow. So yes, I don't know why I brought the egg basket over here. We have, by we, I mean me, and Alexis went on the road trip to bring home this coop. Now, there's 180 fresh pullets in here, and at last count there was only maybe 100 of the older hens, which haven't even been laying a year yet. I know, you girls are hungry, but you get grass this morning for the first time, so that'll help. They've been eating a lot. Hopefully these girls start laying, hopefully within the month. I know. You girls can go ahead and go outside if you want. They were, we'll say, a bear to get in here. We'll see their previous living quarters before this trailer made its way to the farm. And it should have been a simple transition, but it was not. Just it was supposed to be an easy open the door and shoo the chickens across the ramp. That didn't work. And I don't know how quickly they're going to want to leave, because this is home base, and knowing how hard it was to get them to move before. So I'm not worried if they don't all jump out the back all at once. So, the coop. This is the best I could find to my standards in a reasonable distance, which turned out to be like 250 miles, but more about that later. So there's a nice open floor plan with the 1-inch mesh mostly, except for right down the center, and then there's 3 walking planks. 3 rows of perches up either side. I added the perches up the middle supports. The 2x4s were there, but I added the extra perches. And let's just say the chickens really took to those high perches. Some of these girls like to be as high as possible. I guess we'll continue the tour on the inside. It has hoops of cattle panels with a tarp. The trailer came with a new tarp, which is fantastic. Which this tarp will probably need to be replaced by winter. And I hope you girls haven't been pecking at the hole, but that hole has grown. Apparently, these young ladies aren't so favorable to humans. Okay, oh boy, here they go. The door is wide open. I'm gonna have fun tonight. There's probably gonna be a bunch that try to sleep right on that wooden rail down there, or on the center post of the wagon. They're looking. You gonna go outside? There's grass, all the fun stuff, bugs, fresh air, rain, lots of rain. So yes, we gotta patch that. Now, through here, through the human door, is the nesting boxes. Well, they'll catch eggs. I like my roll-away design, but I can't expect everybody to copy my design immediately. And I didn't have time to build a whole other coop. See, the reason I bought this, because I was having all these pullets coming on, and I didn't want to just get rid of those other hens before I had these pullets ready and didn't have some place, and I definitely wasn't going to mix them, so they don't learn bad habits from those other ones. So when these ones start laying, the hens over yonder will find a new home. Oh, the fancy feature, the human door. If we look down here, this has got a nice fancy timed electric door to get over here. I don't have it set up yet because these girls aren't laying and I don't want to let them sleep over here yet. But this door is, the idea is that it opens up in the morning and closes middle of the afternoon after all the hens have laid their eggs, such that they can't sleep over here and poop in the boxes, and it tries to keep the eggs cleaner. There was a lot of forethought that went into that. So that is good. It's a very open, airy construction. I think it's much lighter than mine because it's not covered in sheet metal. But for winter, there will be quite a bit of, we'll say, patchwork or covering. I like their fairly good construction ideas. They're solid. They got a 2x4, we'll say, wall stud just butted in on top of the 2x6s down low, and then there's a 2x4 for support. So it's not going anywhere. It's solid and stiff. Maybe not my first plan I would have came up with, but I like it. It works. It's functional. I can't complain. Now, how far did we go with this thing? Is anybody going to jump out the door? By force of the other hens not moving, somebody's going to have to go outside. Oh, there's one. Now, if we look at some of the breeds, we've got Rhode Island Reds. There's Astrolorps. The one that jumped out is a black sex-link. And the white ones are the Amberlinks, which maybe I said that. Kind of 3 breeds in there mostly. Actually 4. 4. Rhode Islands, Astrolorps, Amberlinks, and then the black sex-link chickens, which are, I guess, supposedly the same thought process as a Golden Comet because they're a hybrid chicken. Now, underneath all this is a nice Kilbros running gear. That's fancy. Oh yes, well, we're back here. Get a little sidetracked. This is the holder for the solar panel. There's a battery, there's a bunch of wiring I still need to get sorted out. The previous owners had this trailer set up as the full charging station for the fence. I have my fancy charging box, my toolbox with a solar panel on it, so I don't need that. I just need the solar power for the doors. It also has a chicken door in the back that I have covered up, because I guess without power these things automatically open, maybe? I didn't check it out. I just covered it up, kept the chickens in. That's all that matters. Now we gotta see where that one free-ranging chicken went. They don't want to leave, so they've imprinted on this as home, which is good. That's what we want. We want the chickens to realize this big white thing is home. So yes, back to the original thought process before we got sidetracked on the solar panel. Drug this thing home like 250 miles. We're close-ish to Cincinnati-ish. That's the next large city. Drug this thing all the way from just north of Pittsburgh, and quite literally a stone's throw, like from here to the trees, into Pennsylvania. Yeah, that was it was a long drive. Now, what was scary about that, and this is, not to say buying it sight unseen, I saw pictures, but I can't go there and test it out. When I got there, first thing I did is I pick up the hitch. You see how that one wheel moves and the other one doesn't? Yeah, there's some loose stuff in the steering. And I thought to myself, it's about to be a long ride home. This thing traveled 40 miles an hour and didn't flinch. I drug it all the way home through Amish country, down through Columbus. That was a little bit of a mistake. I didn't avoid Columbus as well as I thought I was going to. Because it's hard to tell a GPS. We can only go on roads for farm equipment. They don't have that option. So I was, using paper maps, doing as best as I could. I thought we did pretty good coming back. Always just the fact that we ran into traffic sort of inside Columbus. Oh, you're going to do that. At least those hens will be easy to catch. I will say the best buy that came with this trailer, that's going to be annoying. This hen's climbing up the inside. No, the best buy that came with this trailer is a chicken catching stick. So you can just hook their legs. Now, I didn't try too hard, and I didn't want to necessarily have to catch her. But if I really want to, yep, see, you get her leg. Usually you gotta keep pulling or else they will get loose. So I don't have to go up there and catch them by hand. So for the ones that do try to sleep underneath, I can just reach under and snag a leg. I bet you're gonna sit there all day, aren't you? Well, eventually your buddies will leave and you'll discover the joys of grass. Or the fact that there's feed falling out underneath the trailer. And I'll come out here in a day or two and move it so they can poop on a fresh spot. So yes, we dragged this thing home on 250 miles. It was a nice, lovely trip. Not too many people got mad, I don't think, because we were moving so fast. One other fun feature, well, I've been standing here looking at it the whole time and not telling you guys. After we remove this nail, these doors swing open, and if we look through the wire, there's big open spots in the milk crates to reach in from the ground, so we do not have to go inside to collect eggs. That is a nice feature. So it's got its pluses, its minuses. It also came with fence. It came with the short fence. I still need to do my magic fix of extra posts. The white posts are factory in the netting. They're like 10 feet apart, or maybe 11, I don't know. It's ridiculous. So the fence sags. So when I ordered this fence new last year, I got the extra post. I need to buy extra post for that fence. And I got 3 sections of, I believe, 40-inch fence. It's shorter than I liked, but it'll keep the chickens in and hopefully keep most of the rodents out. I'm like kidding, rodents won't hurt a chicken, but raccoons will. Little feisty things. I put a trap out here. Nothing was a taker in the trap. Is anybody gonna come outside? Yes, this is what made it difficult to move them. So we're gonna go see their previous living quarters now that I have them fed and ready to go for the day. And we shall see the process of chicken trailering. Anybody, any takers? I mean, I'm not going to force you outside. I'm not going to do that, because I got to force you back inside later. But if you want to, it's here. The great outdoors. Oh, another thing. In the rotational process, this isn't nice grass. I mean, there's grass, and we've mowed it. But if we can see, we've tilled and planted sweet corn just over there. Eventually, we're going to have something growing here. So the point is, we put the poop to good use to grow something, instead of putting it out on pasture, which the chickens, at times, can be rather destructive with scratching, and eventually they'll scratch a bunch of holes if you leave them out here too long. Or sometimes you don't even have to leave them out here very long, it just has to be dry. They will dig holes to dust themselves. That's no fun in a hayfield. So they can destroy all they want, and the goal is to destroy, eat everything off, poop a bunch, and to grow something. And that was the funny thing, the family I bought this from, that was their qualm, was they were following cattle with this trailer. And they headed out, you know, in good pasture, and they were moving the trailer daily inside the fence, and then moving the fence once a week or more frequently, maybe every 5 days. And they were still having trouble with the chickens just absolutely destroying everything. Digging holes, and that's no fun in a hayfield. And so that's why I have them out here in the crops. Okay, well, I'm going to collect eggs, and then we will go see the previous step to the new trailer for which the chickens are living in. And I will say it is a rather creative use and very conveniently pre-built. I'm so sorry. I should have looked and asked before opening the door. Apparently you can lead a fish to water, but you can't make it swim. You girls have had, you know, 3-4 hours now. Do I need to put a ramp here? I mean, you got wings. I figure you can fly. So just, I guess you're enjoying the shade. Hopefully you'll leave eventually, but we'll keep checking on you. This is the previous living quarters of the chickens in the new coop. And as you've seen, or as you are seeing right now, they've got water. Now, unfortunately, the front is a little open, so it could be a little wet from the rain, which, if we don't get rain every day, it shouldn't be too bad in here. But, you know, the weather's being crazy, and we're getting close to our yearly average of rainfall here in May. Okay, maybe we're 10 inches short, but if something tells me this is going to be another 50+ inch year of rain. And if I'm wrong, well, we get there when we get there. I don't want to be right. So what do we see? There's the hanging water, there's some feed, there's some more feed. Try to keep it a little dry and bedded in here. But we have more chickens. There's some chickens in here, some chickens out there. These chickens are about a month younger, and the ones we saw out front are about a month away from laying, so hopefully these ones are 2 months or less. They're finally starting to perch. To transfer the chickens before, we had literally backed the back door of that coop right up to this opening, and they would not leave to save their lives. I had to catch every pullet by hand in here, and with the purchase it's rather difficult, because all this stuff was put in before the wire was put over the front. We took out the bottom beater, and if you saw when I bought these, one wagon had a twisted beater, and Bandit found me a less abused beater to put down here. So we took some of that out, and that gives us easier access. The chickens can perch up high. They're perching on all the other perches. And I guess the most dismemberment we had to do is we had to drill a hole through the wall for the hose to go in. But that makes it so I only have to fill the water tank maybe once a week. Give them feed every morning, and they're good all day. Yes, there's another use for your silage wagons, because, you know, that's going out of style. Thank you, dairy industry, for your equipment. I'm sorry that milk prices are horrendous. So close them back in. They get plenty of airflow. The top is wide open, and it's, you know, not perfectly sealed everywhere. And then when we're done, hopefully they'll only be in here, say, a few weeks until those other hens start laying, and then the old hens get kicked out and they move on to being somebody else's problem, eating each other. We won't say that when we sell them, right? I mean, who wants to buy a chicken that's going to eat the one next to it? Who knows? Maybe they'll go to folks who like to eat old laying hens, but they, you know, they'll be less than a year and a half old, so they'll still be young laying hens. Apparently there was a little bit of juice that ran down the side there, but it's fantastic, well protected, keeps the hens safe. Prevailing weather blows in from that way, so typically, you know, the rain blows over mostly, and then we can hook the PTO up and run it out, and I don't have to lift too many fingers to shovel out poop. So yes, this is the news on the chickens this year, of all the different coop options that we have. Yes, I've moved up from using old cattle trailers to now using old silage wagons. However, I do have plans to put this back into use this fall. It was just the fact that it had a roof and it was larger than a cattle trailer made it very convenient, because this thing is 7.5, 8 foot wide, and 16 foot long, plenty of ground space, plenty of room for perches. I'll catch you guys later.